the next 7 in the set of elbows. You saw the first ones, which are your common ones. Okay, we're now moving into a little more advanced. This one right here, similar to your jab and cross. These are your rising elbows, which would be classified not just as a strike, but as an uppercut. Okay, you can, at the end of these, when you come up here, extend and add like an impact shot into it. Okay, as we're doing right here, I'm coming in. I'm either just, he may be throwing something, throw a jab cross, boom, I come in here and I'm just raising right up. Okay, so you see that first one, boom, in. Okay, I'm just parrying it. I can block with the shield right in. All right, this is similar to the rhinos that we'll do, but on this one, as he's coming in, however I happen to be coming in, okay, as I'm coming in, striking here, or I'm coming up under the chin as an uppercut, I can also use this one as the base of this forearm. Okay, so the rhino is going to be the tip of the elbow. This is hitting with the shin, like that big thick part, just like the base, like a Muay Thai walking thing. You could take a lot of impact. You can hit something really heavy there and not hurt yourself. Okay. Other positions that we'll get into is, and you got a grappler that's holding on to you. Okay. We've got the rolling elbows right here. So as I'm coming in, I've got the strike here. We can then wrap and deliver our cross strikes coming through there. Okay. Same idea. He's grabbing here. So I'm going to talk about the first 2 because they're very similar. First one, rising elbow here. Second one is your long one, which is coming across your body to hit here. So one is straight line elbow. Second one, cross-side elbow. Okay? And as I come through there, if I'm using this as a striking elbow, I'm coming through, opening up, cutting across. Okay? So again, I'm coming through, opening up, cutting across. Good. On the cross side one, I'm coming through, opening up, coming across. Okay? Good. So we'll do this in a couple angles so you can see it. All right, so right here, rising elbow. So I'm coming in, okay? I'm gonna come in, boom. Amy, stay still, I can figure out how to do it. Boom, okay? Right there, boom. Good. So as we're in here, rising elbow. Or I could space, come back under, okay? It's a nice fake too, to come in. So I can be here, jab, cross, bop, okay? Walk right into it. 1, 2, in. I can back you out, in, okay? Rising elbow, not a pointing elbow, okay? So if we're here, I'm gonna just turn Amy right here, okay? So if we're looking here and Aaron's coming in, it's coming right in, okay? So you're gonna come with the elbow. So catch right under the chin, and he wants his weight underneath here. So you want to push the hip through and really drive that, okay? So it's not just an elbow here. When you're doing it, just stay there. When you're doing it, that's here. You're really putting, the hip should be moving forward first, okay? So you want to get under it as though I'm going to, like football, and I'm going to uproot the guy, okay? So it's not just here, which does work, okay? But if I want to do something, I'm typically going to step through his feet and take over that space, okay? So as he's here, he's coming in, too much in, okay? And driving through, okay? So if you don't know the difference between a cross, a jab, or a straight goes straight down line, okay? The cross is gonna come across the body to hit that same spot. So that's the difference between the jab and the cross. So you got straight, cross, boom, here. Very nice. So if Aaron's coming in, boom. And this is a good way for you guys to practice, especially if you're, again, in acting and you want to learn how to move. Just make sure your teeth are closed and find where he throws you. So he's going to come slowly to impact point, meet here, and now he's going to drive my head. So I know the actual direction and everything that I should be moving. Here, driving it through. Okay? If he's going with the opposite one, same thing. The hip's going to come. Okay, now he's kind of gone with the hook. This one's coming straight through and driving me back. Yes, sir. Okay? Good. One more time. Boom, hip. Yeah, and then get the hip through me. So through me. Okay. Right? So he's coming in. Boom. That's what you want. Good. Okay. All right. Okay, so the next two that I'm doing is I'm just going to classify this as one elbow. It's your spinning elbow. It's amazing if you can land these type of things. The only problem with this spinning elbow, okay, is that A, there's a possibility of giving your back, okay? B, hitting the back side of that elbow, unless you condition that, is a really quick way to have long-term life of injury, okay? You can really hurt yourself with the back elbow. It's a really soft spot. So when you're doing this, rather than just trying to push through on somebody, you want to use this more as a cut. So I retract the shoulder as I'm going, rather than just reach out and end up catching. So this is not somewhere where I want to get them like on a hard spot of the head. I want them more as a cutting thing, okay? Or tip of the chin. So two main ones where this is really used. Yeah, you'll have guys that'll do these in fights where they'll go here, boom, all right? They'll do this stuff, and that's great. That's a great technique. Again, you better be conditioned for that, all right? Other variations of this one, where I see it mostly in two spots, okay? And this is like the horizontal elbow as well. So he's sort of backing me up. I don't want anything. I move out of the way, and there's that elbow to get him off, okay? Now, if I wanted to get a freestyle on this, I can also go under, okay, and throw the elbow back. Boom, right here. And then I've got around behind him, okay? So if he's kind of get a hold of me and I'm swimming, okay, swimming under, I got that elbow right there, okay? It's a nice little elbow, probably not gonna use it. It's like my old move here where I get somebody, I'm hit, you bring them down and catch with that. Not likely you're going to do it all the time, but if you do, pretty cool. So these are the cool elbows if you've got the extra. Absolutely. All right. So again, whichever way I go with, whichever way I'm stepping, there's my shoulder roll, base of the skull. He's down and out.
Key ways he's blocking this form. He's keeping the impact. My connection's always here. As I'm pushing Greg back, he's using my momentum.
Now notice this. I'm not turning flat.
Yes.
Okay. Because if I turn flat, his elbow's going to roll onto me. He's going to continue to carry on to me. Okay? So as he's in here, my body's tilting. See? So I've got this tilt. His hands are going over top of each other. And now, see how I end up at his elbow. And as I come around, there's that base of the skull. Good, good. So if I'm pushing him back, he's just going to go. He's going to step. Good, there's that elbow. Boom. You don't need much to it. That's where that spinning elbow is used, unless you're a pro fighter. Okay, then if you guys want, try that duck under, try that swim, where you guys jump. And you got here,
much more technical.
I've got all kinds of stuff. All right, now we're really moving into the stuff that's serious, okay? So the serious ones now are the rhinos.
Yeah.
These are things, the reason why this is so important, you'll see this in our very intense self-defense course. If you join up on our memberships, you'll be able to come in, go live with us on this stuff and really get in depth. On this one, this is now the tip, okay? Two positions that you'll be grabbing. Base of the skull and these next two, okay? Protecting the back of my occipital bone, okay? The second one is on the elbow. I want this elbow in front of my nose, and the elbow has to be above the shoulder, okay? If he's here doing this, he's got his elbow up here, put it on your head, this one, okay? And his elbow comes below the shoulder, okay? I collapse him. So if I come here and his elbow's below the shoulder, okay, what's gonna happen is, go ahead in, is he's gonna be in and collapsing there, okay? So we wanna make sure it's below the elbow's above the shoulder. When we start, we sit down first, get to the level that we're gonna go in, whether it's the neck or the elbow here, and we step through, okay? It's not a downward elbow, it's not a rising elbow.
It's a spear.
It's here, and then watch his shoulder. It jolts forward, okay? So as I'm coming in, I'm just gonna have him here. So one of the things, stay in there, okay? One of the things here is if I drive this back, okay? He's in my face, I'm like, dude, start shoving me. I come in, I take that face back, I just drop in. And I didn't even step to his feet, and he'll tell you It's like getting stabbed.
Yeah.
If he's coming and he's grabbing on me, okay, this type of thing where I'm going in here, okay, allows me to get to my weapon, all right? For kids, the great thing about this rhinos is when I do the rhino properly, I'm grabbing the head, I'm anchoring down, not with my thumb. My thumb doesn't go here. I get, and I'm not using my fingertips wrapping around. My palm goes over, so the bottom of my palm, see how much of my palm is still face out? I want my palm to hook over, so this section of my knuckles goes all the way over. So you want right here. So I want it all the way.
All the way.
Okay? Now when I try to pull that apart,
so
he's got strength, okay?
Yeah.
Your strength is not in your fingers. It's in the palm and the wrist, okay? So when you're in here, if you have a little kid and they anchor down like this, you can see how I am. I'm coming down the nose at you, right? Tip, it's above my shoulder. My shoulder's gonna have that little lock in, push forward, and it's up. If he tries to like even take this apart, okay? Very hard, okay? Now, from here, later as we go, just so you guys know, anything from here, comes, boom, breaks, okay? He grabs a hold again, right? So I'm going down. Whichever arm I'm going down, I can still do here, over, break, boom, elbows, knees, all that stuff, okay? Great other things about this is when I'm coming in, so I'll use my lead left elbow, right? I'm closing in here. I just grab, this is an instinctive position for people to go to, but instead of going like this, where the center line, if he covers both his hands on his head here, put both hands on, put both hands,
Oh, yeah.
okay? This is where people do a lot of this, but you leave that center line open, okay? So he wants that center line covered. He wants his nose right behind it. And he's not hitting downward, he's just stepping, good. Now if he's doing this, I'm gonna put it here. What I want him to do is step through me, okay? If I'm in a stance here, and you see where their back foot is, all right? He wants to step through my back foot. He doesn't need anything more than that, okay? Especially if you just do it when you see that haymaker coming. You go, and it's over, okay? Now don't forget, the magic of elbows is that we've moved from here, okay, he's reaching in, to from our trapping range, which we were doing, okay? So I was in the bridging range, but what the elbows do is you're beyond the trapping range, and now I'm in here, but the elbows also allow for great hammer fist, for traps, being able to trap the neck, okay? Being able to counter, right? Even if he's coming in and I use a raising elbow, it could be a block, all right? And I could sweep it out, drive it through. If he comes in again, and like I said, I can come over top of it. Back elbows. This is where I think the back elbow is only useful, is where you're going here, okay? And I've hit, maybe his head's turning, and as it's coming back, I just give it that like extra spacing elbow, okay? The other thing this elbow range is good for is bridging, okay? Where I'm in, I'm coming across his body. And the 3 bridges we'll get into are, I want to bridge across the ribs, into the neck. 2 is right here, we'll get into these. And 3rd one, right here, okay? From these, we'll get into that. But that's moving into the next phase, body bridges. All right.
The other thing I just want to mention real quick is that when you're doing this rhino, you're protecting all your vital organs here in your head. Right? Really crucial. You know, somebody's coming in just trying to pound you out.
Yeah. So if he's coming in,
the
idea of this, and don't forget, like for you guys fighters, it's natural, and sometimes I forget because we're always doing this.
Yeah.
Get that shoulder. If it's the girls, think of protecting your earring, okay? So you're in here. It's closed off, okay? This is now closed up. I can still do all my elbow strikes here, okay? My idea is just to go straight in though, okay? Just get in, he comes in, boom, hit him there, then I can move in and go to whatever I want. Quick and safe. You can teach any kid to do this. You don't need language to be able to teach this. You can simply go here, okay? The bridge, the rhinos are designed in Jingshan for your first 30 seconds. So this is real self-defense. Nobody has to learn how to punch. Nobody has to learn certain kicks, okay? That takes a lot of time to become even decent, all right? You learn this, grab your wrist, grab your head, sit down, elbow up, move forward. Rhino 1, okay? Rhino 2 is where we're coming. I'm giving them a The old Italian thing, right? So this one goes here, into here. But I don't want to have my hand on my bicep. I want to have my wrist, okay? So I'm doing a triangle hold on myself. Seems weird. But this is going to go in and protect my neck. This hand now is my cover. So if I've got somebody, okay, I'm in here, and somebody comes behind me and starts trying to go around my neck for a choke, okay, if I can get in here, this is where I want to get. I close off here. He's trying to get through for a choke, okay, go ahead, go through. Okay, all the vitals. If he bends me down and comes down with an elbow on the back of my neck, still protected, okay? This is more for when you're grounded, okay? I'm talking right now, but this elbow should be covering my nose. It can be hitting like this, okay? It's more like he's trying to bear hug me or he's trying to get stuff, and I'm just closing in. But the same idea of these is just think of a cage, okay? I'm creating a cage right here, and I'm creating a cage right here. I need to be able to see. I need to be able to yell, okay? I need to be able to look for an exit to get away. Just locking that cage. We'll show you the legs. It's a little dirty here to get to the ground for this. Go ahead.
Are you looking through your elbow?
Yeah, my nose is in the elbow, okay? That's another key thing. Elbows above the frame, above the shoulder, and your nose on either one of those. So if you look here, he switches it to the other one where you're on top of your head, okay? You've got the short range there. Now if he switches to here, okay, and this is covering, if anything's coming around here, he literally just points his elbow out. If I'm coming around, and any of you guys have done that, catch a fist or an elbow, okay?
It's terrible.
You always talk about like he's throwing out a cross, you know, this type of thing. You're coming in, and I'm going here, that you can get. If he's throwing jab cross, that's where you time that. You have to be pretty damn good, and the trick to that, guys, just so you know, is to parry the second one, grab your own forearm.
It's pushing my hand into the elbow.
So I'm grabbing it and I'm hitting it, boom, boom, and I'm getting it right in. So I'm actually pulling, okay? Now, without having to do that or having any skill, just by being in this position, if he's throwing punches at you and I go right in,
look at my
if
target.
he hits anything, he's
all
got
bone.
nothing. Right here, boom,
bone.
boom. That's all just bone.
Even if I try an uppercut.
No coordination needed, no learning, except to keep the elbow above.
Yes, sir.
Third one.
Take some practice. I'm tight in my shoulders, so it takes some flexibility. You got to keep practicing. Make sure you keep your eyes down your elbow line.
Yep. Third one is now he's gotten behind me. I've given him, maybe he's bear hugging. Massage. Okay. Now this one, to get out of this, you see all these guys doing the buck out, try to do this junk. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. Okay. We're not. This is not. This is not Cobra Kai.
Everybody,
okay?
exactly.
So when I do this thing, I need to find space.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The space is going to be found in the fold of his elbow. Okay. So first thing I do is turn my hips, which if needed, and you're that type, there's the old take a bow move. So let them go, or you grab and you drive downwards if you really want to cause problems. But if you're not that guy and you want to just finish, I turn, I lift my elbow up to the ribs. So I here he's holding pretty tight. Go ahead and squeeze. Okay. I move my hips, which allow that elbow to come up in, and then from there I get a hold of this fist and I just push that out. So if I get in here,
changes the leverage point, guys.
Okay.
Real quick.
Comes in, boom, grab. Okay. If I need a little bit as I'm here, I can use this fist to cause a little bit of spacing. There's that. See how I'm now? It's here, tilting. This elbow then is not striking. I'm just driving the pin backwards. Okay?
Small subtle thing right here. He's getting his hips below my hips.
Yep.
He's angling right here, and he's kind of raising it like a jack, just kind of using the momentum.
More advanced version of this is same thing. Instead, if I can't get here, now I can go right into the hip too. Okay? So I want either the rib, but if he's got me in, like maybe right at the elbows, so this is the hardest point, okay, where the elbow's not going to come up, take the elbow down, get into his hip, step through the hip, pop that. That's going to back him off. He's not going to hold on to that, okay?
No. He's making my grip weak here too, guys. What you can't see is when Greg folds, look at my clasp right here. I go from strong.
He's got a nice gable grip right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I'm creating this. See that?
Stressing it.
See, watch what happens to his elbows. I'll go flat. See this? just by squeeze that. Okay, just by putting my elbows there, I've now my hips move easily. I could hit, but it's not going to do anything. So I want to place. Now the other variation is I'm going to go up towards his head with this. Okay, to do this, I then step behind, backstop the back of his thigh, and now he's gone. Okay. Oh, is that a bird? That was a seal right there. Okay. So we've got
Beautiful stuff.
pivot, create that shoulder, and see, there's other things you could do. Okay. So we've got this version, but when I get down here, if I leave my arm behind me and I roll my shoulder, keep holding. Okay. Hold it tight. Okay. Talking about the rhinos and stuff, and Aaron had a question he wanted to talk about. I think it's really good. So let's talk about this.
Question I have is basically, which foot you lead with. Sometimes you're in a fighting stance. I'm a Westerner, so I was traditional boxing, karate. So 1, 2, if a person's bigger coming out to me defensively, I'm going to come back. Do I come back to this stance? And I asked Greg, do I put the cover on my lead foot here, or the back foot here as I'm backing up? So that was a question I had for Greg.
So that's a really good question. So basically, anybody that's fighting, first rule you guys should always know, and again, not a lot of people do this, but the one thing you should never do is, as he's coming at me, is backpedal like this.
Yes.
Okay? All of you guys who know football know that guy's going to the ground if you want to take him down. Okay?
Contact
So whichever foot I decide to go with, so if I decide to step back right, I want the lead foot and the lead elbow in the rhino.
Yes, sir.
Okay? We still have this. Understand that this here can still become our horizontal, boom, back elbow. Across here, we've got our batting inside, we've got our outside, and then again from here, once we hit, we've got all our hooks and stuff that we can get into. Okay? Very nice. So, yes, if you're backing out, if I'm backing out with my right, yes, just like that.
Yes, sir.
Left, same thing. And just get used to this. All you have to do is do this a couple times.
Yeah.
You don't have to, just make sure that you don't see that elbow below your nose. Okay? So like put it right in front of the nose, elbows in the nose. I don't want it here. Okay? I don't want this exposed. I want it here. Right? You don't need to see down the right eye if you don't have to. You can see between those arms. Okay? Don't go like this. They're just going to smash you. Okay? So here, put it in. Elbows. Everything we do with Jing Shen, the elbow always is going to be inside of the wrist. Anytime you're like this and you go against one of our guys, we're going to get you. Okay? So don't go A-frame because you're giving us everything. Keep everything tucked in. Okay? If you're in self-defense, you need to keep your center line. You don't know if a weapon's coming out. And remember, when we do this, as I'm coming in with this, if I have my reverse grip weapon, not only am I hit him here, but when I get him here, watch what happens to his head. Boom, that sort of drops down, and if I have a knife. So we're here. So the next ones that we're moving into were so we had the bear hug. Okay? So I'm reviewing the bear hug. We had the different types. So from here, I had different ways. I can create that. See how I'm making his elbows slide up? As I move the hips, see that downward, upward rotation? And then I just take my elbow into Fukushima position. Look at all that space. Now I can, there's the rib, or if he's got me low, he's like trying to pull me down. Okay? I can come into the thigh and use that poke into the thigh, into the hip. Okay? The next one, the other variation is he comes behind. Okay? I move the hips out, and again we have that shot to the groin. Backstop behind him, and if I just literally go right for his face here, he's going for a little ride. Okay, so we've got those. That's the pinning elbow.
Yes, sir.
All right. So next to the rhinos is the bat wings. Okay, we use this a lot, especially if you're dealing with guns or if you're dealing with stuff where you're going to be holding. If I have a knife, I want to reinforce. I'm going to grab, not onto my wrist this way. Okay, grab a hold of your wrist. Your wrist, up on the wrist. Okay? Very easy for me to break apart.
Yep.
No matter how much you sweat, and if you're sweating, super easy for me to break this grip. Okay? I want to take my thumb, my middle finger, not any other finger, just my thumb and middle finger. I want to go from here, slide it down until I get into the crook, or what we call the pit of your wrist. All right?
This is help my jiu-jitsu guys, just to let you know that. So if somebody's grabbing you, you just slide it right down. You're wasting all this energy right to the
right
chest.
here. Okay? He goes to yank away. Okay? I'm anchored. I'm not using strength. Okay? It's going to take him a few. If I'm here like this, and you go,
You know,
So
martial arts.
if
goes
you
towards
don't
the
use a
weak point, the
gi,
thumb.
if you don't use a gi,
Yeah.
you want to get that little boom. And I can still. The other thing is, yeah, it's gonna take a few.
Take me a couple
The other
times,
thing
man.
is, it also gives me control of the wrist too.
Wrist
So
lock, yeah.
all that stuff. So if you get used to everything that you guys do from here, you know, comes with it.
Controlling points, guys. Connections.
All right, so we're back here, locking this. All right.
So,
Now, it's used as a battering ram, okay? Really nice battering ram when you use this section of your palm, okay? This is the one time that you can catch teeth nicely. Right to the mouth, right to the thing. I'm just popping right in here, okay? The bat wings are what swim. Boom, boom, pop, boom, boom. And I'm pulling, and I'm pulling. I am not just swimming. I'm like pulling that arm through with the arm that's like straight, and I'm turning. Blah, blah, okay? You want to be like Tyson. You want to be blah, 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 okay? I'm clearing through that person.
Yeah.
If I need the space, he's coming in. I just blah, smash.
yeah. I
Okay?
try and shoot in.
Very powerful, okay? If he's shooting in, this is also a nice one too. A little tough to get, but if I get down here and he gets in, I don't recommend you drop down like this if he comes in to shoot, okay? Try to get the arm in so you can do this. And then you bring the arm up to your shoulder, and then from here, you got a nice face lock, okay?
He's catching me with blocking, right?
Wow.
Connections there. Using the bridges of his palms, his palms and his elbows.
Right, and so we had the rhinos coming here, so these are smashing here, okay? We have the side rhino,
Spear.
okay? So the bat wing, sorry. The side rhino is spear again. This one's really nice when adding a punch or a good extra shove. So when I'm in here, okay, I'm spacing him. I can hit him with the rhinos here, okay? I can turn sideways and hit him this way, okay?
Aim for those soft spots, man.
Spots you want to hit with the rhino,
Okay.
pretty much anywhere, but the best ones are dead center down the sternum,
Yeah.
okay?
I'm
Chest
from
high.
experience.
Shoulder pockets, okay?
Okay.
Now, if I need to get out,
Soft spots like
right? If he's coming to grab me and I go to the shoulder pocket, I open the gate. When I hit here, I hit and I open the gate. If he's still trying to grab a hold of something, I close the gate.
Not only that, he's really close to that collarbone.
That's the collarbone.
Doesn't take a lot to break
We'll
that.
be coming to the collarbone in the next section. So the next section is where we use the cut ones, the breakers,
Yes.
okay? But this, again, let me just run through this one more time. We've got your basic rhino here. Don't forget that we have all those previous ones that we did. Boom, from this position without having to let go, especially for little kids, stay caged, okay? They try to get around me and now swoop into here, okay? If he's going around my body, okay, I can still go here. Just with that move that we did, right there, he goes around my body, okay? If he gets over my arms and pulls my arms down, okay? Now if I'm in here, this is great because I got all that space to pivot. But if he happened to weave through my arms and pull him, so he's strong enough to break me down to here, okay? Then, again, hips move. If you can, step behind. If you don't have the opportunity, step the hip out, okay? Shoulder, inside shoulder down, outside shoulder up. Roll the elbow into the center. Drive your pin. Keep it. Keep them if you want to do something afterwards, you know? So I can take him any which way I want to go from there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
We also had the battering ram.
Yep.
We had the bat wings coming in. And then you guys had the rising, the same side elbow and the rising cross elbow. So that's 1, 2, what do we do? 3,
Yep.
4, 5,
Spears.
spear 6, and then we did the hammer. There's your 7
Then
for
the
today.
Unders. Then the unders.
Yeah, so those are all classified as the same thing, whether I go here, whether I pin it there, or step behind and roll through, okay? Everything behind should just fit. So there's your your second set of 7 for the elbows. Come back for the next one and watch how vicious this one's gonna get. You guys will like it. And then we'll start putting it together, show you some elbow drills for close range fighting, and this is where it gets fun. All right, thanks guys. Don't forget to join up for our membership. We're gonna have that coming out now.
Again, guys, be careful with each other, be good training partners, be safe with each other. These are all very close orbital bones, eye sockets, noses. Make sure you're a good training partner, make sure you got a good instructor. Take your time, be slow and smooth. Study, study, study. Drill, drill, drill. That's how you're going to get better at this. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, guys.